Hello. Good. Let's learn something and get our hands a little bit dirty with the data collection techniques and presentation for them. This video will provide you with an overview of the components of data collection techniques and presentation. So, by the end of this video, you will learn a lot of practical and professional skills to use monitoring and evaluation systems from the beginning of your project. There are different qualitative and quantitative methods to collect the data. If you remember the theory of change that we learned in the last video and the log framework, you will be able to see where we need to collect the qualitative and quantitative data according what was written in the log framework tables. Okay, what is the difference between qualitative and quantitative? I did this table in order to let you understand and make the comparison a little bit easier, but let's see. So, the qualitative one. Qualitative is always we ask ourselves the question of how. So, we collect words. This is simple explaining first. So, this method includes, or the methods we need to collect the data can be focus group, discussions, in-depth interviews, reviews of documents with different types of texts or themes in order to make these themes. It is primary inductive process used to formulate theory or hypotheses in order to test this hypothesis. More subjective because it is a description of a problem or condition from the point of view of those people who take the experience. It is text-based, more in-depth information on a few of cases that participated in our course or our program. It is unstructured or semi-structured response options because it's texts, it's answers, it's open-ended questions. It doesn't need any statistical tests, but it's more compositions that we need to see if this is happened or not. So the hypothesis here will be more of understanding a relationship or correlations. Can be valid and reliable, largely depend on scale or rigor of the researcher or the person who will collect the data in order to include the emotions of the people while they are answering the questions. And it is easy to plan, but also heavy to implement and analysis. It is less generalizable. While the quantitative one, it's mainly surveys or surveys that can get only scale answer or categorized answers and numbers and demographic data. A structured interview that can also get only numbers or numbers-based data, observations when we are counting something, or records or documents that depend on information or statistical numbers. It is deductive process used to test pre-specific concept, constructs and hypotheses that make up a theory. More objective provides observed effects interpreted by researcher definitely for a program on a problem or condition, number-based, because we are getting counts, less in-depth, but more breadth of information across large number of cases. Fixed response option, because even if we are measuring how the people are happy or satisfied by the course, we will give them categories like this scale, Likert scale. We will learn more about it. Fixed response options, that's why, statistical tests are used for analysis in order to figure out what is the relationship between the sample or the people who attend the course and the whole population. Can be valid or reliable, largely depend on measurement device or an instrument used. Time expenditure heavier on the planning phase and lighter on the analysis phase because we have a lot of softwares that can help us in this, and it can be generalized actually at the end. So we need to ask ourselves, what do we want to find out and why we want to find that out, when we need this information, and how we get the information we need, where should we gather this information, and who is our source of information, and for whom we should collect this information, and for whom we will give this information at the end. So let's focus here on different source of data collection according to their different type. As I said before, this is the stakeholders mainly. Yeah, the stakeholder analysis, how we can use it in the data collection process. So we can ask the participant or the staff or significant people or the trainers or the observations made or the site visits that we did and the people who hosted us or the community in general, or we can read some articles and understand the situation of the program or the project that we want to implement and how it is implemented in the past, for example. So this can give us a clear information about the indicator to get and the indicators that we want to write at the beginning of the project. So program records, the participants do not do that. I use this data and we discuss it together. It is not collected for evaluation. It is just to mentor the tasks done, and how we are doing it is not in this level yet. We just would like to know some records. How many persons participated in the course? How many sessions are designed and implemented? So what can be the advantage and disadvantage of these program records? It's already collected by an agency. It's not expensive. It doesn't affect the participant because you will not ask them question. You just will enter to the room, count how many persons inside. And then it will not get you more of a depth of information. It is just that you will know some data. But sometimes it can be you will have some missing data or something like this. This can be happen because if you are writing a number and then there is a mistake in the number, so this can be problem. Or you can use the stuff. You just use trained people to access in a good position to detect any improvement happen, so they will be observant attending the course and seeing how the behavior of the people is changing, most likely to know how well a program is running, see the quality of the trainer. So you just send one of the staff, it's not someone that or someone from the organizers, but someone interested to attend the course from your organization, and this person will help to evaluate and give you insights about what's happening inside the course. But sometimes it can be biased. This person can be biased and can be resistant to the evaluation if this person is in a connection with the trainer, for example. Significant others see the program participant more frequently than do staff. See program participant outside of the program. This is advantage of them, that you will meet with the people, you will ask them some more questions. But this also can be biased if you are doing that with the people and they have comment to give about the project itself or about the implementation or the venue, and they feel shy to share this with you. So it's better to do it by using someone else. So, and also you have to make permission that this person will be asking them questions to get their feedback and take permission and consent from them. Okay, sometime we need evaluator observation. So we get an expert who are not involved in the program and ask him to evaluate. Or an expert in our organization who can do the evaluation and ask him or her to evaluate. But the disadvantage of this, maybe this person didn't understand the difficulties or the community. If we get someone foreigner and we are working in a country, in our country, and this person doesn't understand the context for the country, for example, if we are working on women and there are no a lot of women participating, so this person judged that we have a problem in marketing, while we have a sociological problem or we have a societal problem that women can't go out because their parents or their husband are not allowing them. And this also can be expensive if you hire someone, or maybe getting some irrelevant outcomes if this person is not understanding the main indicators that you want to measure inside. So that is can be solved actually inside the stakeholder meeting that we will do with this person before implementing the project or before implementing the evaluation process. And community indexes or indices already collected by state and local agency, so you can compare this. This is like the census. It is not expensive at all because this information supposedly published by the government doesn't affect the participant because you will not ask them question, you just will compare. Allow for more community level outcome measures to be used for comparison. Many steps between the program and the community level result can be effective on the project or not help us to understand because maybe this data is outdated or something like this. Okay, when you are choosing a source of data collection, you have to put in your consideration some other things. What is this? The first thing, it should be non-reactive. The measurement doesn't affect people because they don't know that they are observed. Thus, make the survey anonymous to be more normally reactive. So, if they are filling an online survey, they should not write their name, or there is no question that can affect so sensitive to them. Some communities it is not sensitive to ask about gender or sex. Other communities are asking about age, for example, asking about if the person is smoking or not, or some personal things that can affect the person. So making it anonymous is good. Some other thing that I mentioned several times in my videos, if you are working in a community that the people can't read and write and you are providing them with someone to collect the data, this person should be an outsider, not someone from the project. So they will feel free to share information with, and they will not know that their names are mentioned, so they can share everything freely. So there's multiple source of information should be implemented in order to overcome this. Again, the non-reactive measures, important measures, and measures that are sensitive to change. So this we also have to put in our consideration. Cost-effective measures, valid measures, reliable measures. All these things that we should make sure that we put in our consideration while collecting the data. So, for example, sometimes we are putting some tricky questions because we will not ask the people about their salary and they will say it. So we put it in a range or in a category. And then we want to follow up about that. So after a couple of pages, we will ask the people some questions related to how many cars do you have in the family? How many TV in the house? Ask them about how many laptops do you have. All these questions can help you to figure out in which socioeconomic level these people are. Okay, then we are gathering and analyzing the data. How we can do that? We should use a simulated data session to prepare for data or the use of data. Check on the design, we need to collect the people who will collect the data, and then we train them how to do that, how to prepare for the data analysis, or what we will need to have in our report in order to make sure that this question is asked correctly. Help to be realistic in their expectation and build commitment to the use of our questionnaires or data collecting material. And also check the design. Maybe while we are making the training, we discovered that this question is so sensitive especially if you are an expert working in a community that is not your community. Mentor and make adjustment as necessary. Keep the stakeholder informed. Value of participatory evaluation, but it's also challenging, as I mentioned in my previous videos. So you gather the data, or you design your questionnaires. So after you write a report, all these stages you should include different stakeholders. So how to analyzing the data? You can make some qualitative and quantitative techniques for data analysis, and this can be including different softwares, different interpretation techniques, different programming language in order to make judgments and recommendation for the future. Also use evaluation question as guidance for you. How should I analyze the data in order to answer my evaluation questions, in order to explain that I reached to my indicators or not? Okay, we have to have framework of our engaging findings. Maybe I have findings that can affect my reports, other findings that are not necessarily. What is the findings actually? This is what we found. This is the data we collected, and we need to have a meaning for them. We need to see, when we collect the age of the woman, what does that mean? That most of the ladies who are coming between the 30 and 35, this means that the ladies less than 30, they are not interested in my course. This is how I interpreted it. Or maybe I didn't make an attractive advertising for the course that can attract these ladies to come. This can be another interpretation. Accordingly, I can judge about my project. I can self-reflect. I can be critical and do recommendation for myself for the next level of the project, or for a new project to write. So how to use the findings after I wrote the report? How to use it? I can use it to share it with the board of directors, with the founders of the organization, in order to implement new strategies, in order to write a strategic plan for my project, make recommendation for policies in the countries that I'm working in, write reports for other stakeholders, share best practices, lesson learned, make decisions in the future, make the strategic plan, as I said, write a new proposal for a new project, design new project. All this can be useful for your findings. Okay, how to report this finding, why communication is so important, and why it is really important to write a report for your project. It is a way to collect and store the information for the future. It is a way to write stories about the success of your project. It's also a way to write publications about your project, or case studies, or build awareness and support and provide basis for answering some question. Describe how a program like this can affect your community, and decide some decision and support for development in your country, and also help in decision making process for the participation and the involvement of different people in the project. For example, there are not a lot of people attended your project. This means that your target group was wrong. You just need to change your target group because it is not attractive for this target group, for example. It can ensure that you are transparent and accountable by publishing these reports on your website, and help you by publishing them to get more fund, because the funders will or the donors will see that, oh wow, how transparent you are, how effective are you in your community, and how you help in growing and in improving the community you are working in, by informing these decision makers that you are doing a change in your project, that you are evaluating your project, and you are following why this project is done, and how effective it is, and how it's making an impact in the future. These are all the way of presenting the projects or the report, and how and why. So, who we need to share this report with? Again, the stakeholders. As I said several times, we need to share this information with them. The stakeholders can be our internal and our external, and this can be during the evaluation and after the evaluation, during the project itself, after the end of the project. We can do this in a form of written report. We can gather them in a meeting or make a conference for the end, or a closing, or like doing a verbal presentation, or making a video, sharing newsletter, like write some memos, send some emails, making a poster about the success of your project. All this can be visual and nice and attractive way to tell the people about your story. So these are all the stakeholders that we can include: our partners, our donor, our beneficiaries, families of them. These all people that we can invite actually to a dinner and tell them about the success of our project, tell them about the monitoring and everything happened inside the project. So keep them in the process informed, and keep them about how successful was your project. This can help you to learn more and get more recommendations from them and get more feedback that can help you to write more, and also it help you for dissemination for your project, publicity for your organization, definitely, and showing donors that you are a reliable organization, simply. So in this video, we learned an overview about qualitative and quantitative data collection methods, and also discussion on various data sources in the form of archive records, program records, stuff, significant other stuff that can be working, or experts that it can be included, and explanation of how to gather this data, how to use this data after we gather it, and how to interpret it, and how to use the findings in writing reports or disseminating it in different ways in order to ensure transparency, accountability of our organization. I hope that you learned a lot in this video. I know that it can be a little bit tricky and intense, but we will learn more about how to collect the data and how to analyze and interpret them, how to write reports using different tools. Keep watching and learning. Hope you will have a nice way of learning.